Hello everyone, welcome to day 20 of 30-day challenge of learning Tableau from scratch. And in today's video, we are going to discuss about the best practices to create a dashboard because we are preparing dashboard or we will prepare dashboards in upcoming sessions. So I wanted to cover this topic so that you are aware what we need to do to create best dashboards. Okay, so let us get started without wasting much time. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So often, I get this question like, how should I create a dashboard? What should I consider? Which chart type I need to use? What should be my layout? And also all these type of questions I regularly get from, my students or my viewers. So I thought of covering the best material that is available uh, in our Google. So for that, I'm directly taking you to the best resource that is available. That is our Tableau, page or tablewhelp.com. So here you have some important information that we can read and analyze. Okay. So the first thing, whenever you are trying to create a dashboard, we need to keep in mind is so let us also summarize while doing that. So first point you need to always remember is what is the goal or purpose of the dashboard you are going to create, like who is going to use that dashboard. Are you answering any particular question from that, or are you questioning using the data set? That is very important for you to understand. Okay, because whenever you are trying to display some value on that, you are showing the metrics that the end user will understand, and using that, will he take any decisions or will he question? So that is the first purpose of knowing the dashboard. Second important point to always remember, when creating dashboard is always use the important space in the dashboard in the right way. Okay, so if I see here, this is our screen size, right? Okay, so here, what is the sweet spot with that we call, or how am I using that? So if I go to Tableau here, maybe uh, we'll just try to open this sample superstore and see. So here, after a thorough analysis was done on how users are using the dashboard, like after you create a dashboard, which is the first thing he will notice, or where is that he will notice. So basing on that, certain things are, decided or understood that, okay, so on the topmost thing or on the topmost left side is considered as the sweet spot. So we tend to keep important information that is required by anyone who is visiting that dashboard to be on the top so that you can see and understand. Not like, your important information of the dashboard you are putting, towards the end of the dashboard, and that get missed out. Right. So we don't want that to happen. So you always have to use the important metrics of your dashboard on the top, so that that is getting conveyed clearly. This is the second point that we need to understand and remember whenever we are using the dashboard here, or we are trying to create a dashboard. So third important part is, designing for the real world, or you know see here, leveraging the most viewed spot, the second point that we discussed. So here it is giving the example. So here he has used this space for to tell about the profit by state. Okay, next is designing for the real world, in the sense whenever you are designing any dashboard, don't keep it for a specific device, or only for a web device, or only for a desktop, or only for a laptop, or only for your mobile devices, like that. Make sure it is scalable. Okay, try to create an automatic version so that it is getting adjusted to the any device that is getting logged in. Okay, so that thing you have to take care when you are creating your dashboards. Maybe you can create few mobile device layouts, you can create automatic worktion. All of that is explained in this version or in this concept. So that is why that is the f- third important point for us. Okay, so second is leverage the sweet spot. Third, design for design a scalable dashboard across multiple devices. Okay, so this is always this points you always need to consider whenever you are creating a dashboard. So next is your display size, or next is your limiting the number of views. So often in real time I have seen that our dashboards are cluttered with multiple information at one place. So don't do that. So there is a saying that divide and rule. Okay, outside we can ignore it, but here in dashboard perspective it helps a lot. Okay, so the clutter free dashboard you are building, the better it is to understand. Okay, it drastically improves the dashboard design, it drastically improves the understanding of the dashboard, it clearly conveys what you are trying to tell through the data. Okay, so that's why don't make your dashboard clouded. Always remember, limit the number of views. Okay, so now how many views are good, or how many views are good or bad for you? For that we can tell that needs to go beyond this. This is a number that Tableau has given. This is not crowded. And maybe here if I scroll down here, so this is our cluttered dashboard we call. Okay, avoid cluttering. So, but if I try to clean this up, this will look something like this. Again, this is also taken from one of the Tableau blogs that has inspired me to share with you. Okay, so how we can avoid this clutter-free dashboard by limiting number of views. Here you see we have stacked bar chart, map, line chart. All of that he's trying to put it in one place, which is making end user confused. Like what I need to look in, what I don't need to look in. Interactivity is also becoming tough. So how can we avoid that? So if you see here now, this has become a better dashboard by limiting the number of views, designing a better chart approach, and having a clear space for interactivity and filters. This is something that you need to take care while designing your dashboard. Okay, so this comes out of practice. It's not like on day one only we will learn all of this and we'll become experts. No. So when you tend to create many dashboards continuously, you we tend to explore. Okay, okay, so because client A might have a different requirement, client B might have a different requirement, like that. So when we tend to create multiple dashboard designs and all, then a clarity will come in the thoughts that okay, this worked for me in the previous project, everyone appreciated, or this didn't work for me in my previous project. Let me try to create a better dashboard, or let me try to reorganize that. Let me not clutter the dashboard. So this thought of things you tend to understand and think on those lines. That is when you improve your dashboard design perspective. So it's not like uh, I also made many mistakes during my initial stages of my dashboard design. I used to clutter my dashboard design. My titles were not consistent. My colors were not consistent, but as I progressed, I realized it is not about having all the worksheets together in one dashboard. It is having sending a clear message to the customer by limiting the number of views, number of colors, having a consistent layout, or consistent not consistent layout, consistent titles and all. So that is very important for us to grow. Okay, so I hope you got this point. So I'm just writing that as the fourth point. Try to limit number of charts or views in the dashboard. Okay, so let us see what is the next important thing that we have here, and try to add interactivity to the dashboard so that it can help a user understand, how the data is playing or how the data is getting filtered. Maybe you can also try adding highlighters to the view. So that is what Tableau is suggesting here. If you see, profit by segment, and he's trying to enable highlighting here, and when he does that, whatever user is trying to highlight, automatically that is getting highlighted here. That shows, the importance of data highlighting here, or how the data is getting observed, so he don't have to stress his eyes and look into that. Automatically Tableau, when it highlights, his focus will go only on those data points, that thus making your dashboard more interactive to the client, or more appealing to the client. So you can focus on these small points whenever you are trying to build your dashboard, thus making is a better dashboard than what you have created earlier. Okay, so these are some important points that you need to consider when discussing or when creating a dashboard design. Okay, so let us also see few of the other visual practices that others have to tell. The first thing that we all get a question is like, how should I design or decide my chart type? Okay, so many viewers ask me this question, Rahul, how can we come to a conclusion that we have to use this chart type and all like that. So there are certain set of rules available, or certain things we follow when choosing a chart. Like, if we are doing an analysis, or over a period of time we want to compare the prices of a stock over a period of time, then in this situation the standard thing that comes to mind is, okay, we have to use line chart, because we are trying to analyze the data over a period of time. So basing on that only, Tableau has decided that show me section, the number of dimensions or measure required for that chart type to get enabled. Okay, so you can also think from those lines, and you can try to create those type of charts to answer those type of specific requirement. Okay, so again, next is bar chart. If you are trying to compare values across categories, like you have subcategory items, you have region wise sales item, you have category items, here you are trying to compare how they have fared across them. So in this situation, a very ideal chart that comes into everyone's mind is a bar chart. Now we have many versions of bar chart that we can use. Okay, so if you are trying to maybe show more information, then we have stacked bar chart, we have rounded bar chart, then we can show percentage of that, we have unit chart and all. So that we have seen in our previous session. Okay, so that is something that will help you in having a better visualizing uh, thing. Okay, so next is heat map or tree map, and highlight tables. These are very important in terms of showing your hierarchical data for your uh, tree map, or showing your relationship between two factors in your heat map. So this was the often the question asked between heat map and tree map. So tree map is for your categorical data, whereas heat map is for your relationship between two things. Okay, so you can use this type of charts. Next is Gantt chart, which is new. You can, we have bullet chart and we have scatter plot. You can always find information about how two variables are performing, how your two measures are performing. The more values you add to that, the better it becomes, or the better it shows the results. Okay, so example I would like to show here. So I'm just trying to leverage my sales and profit here. I'm just dragging it here. Maybe I'll make it a sum of sales and a profit. Okay, so now the more number of items I add to my detail shelf. So if you can observe now, currently Tableau is trying to read one mark at a time, but as I add more values, it becomes See, now this is how our profit and sales are making. So this is our aggregate measure. These are something that are extreme in nature. Okay, so these are something which are very common in nature, or you can observe it like this. So Chase has given us a profit of 26,000 and sales of 3 lakh 28. Likewise, phones has given us a profit of 44,000. This is an aggregated measure, right? So if I try to disaggregate, you will even see a better record. Now, see, this is an extreme data point that we can think about. Okay, why is this so extreme? Okay, so even though in this product called as under which is under machines, even though there was a very big sale of 22,000, we had a loss of minus 1,800. So why did we sell in such a loss? That is one different product. So majority, if you observe, it is between minus 2k to plus 2k. Okay, we are lying in between here, but but there are certain different data points that we can always consider this. These are something unique data points, so we can focus on this and see how what are the different data points or that we have in our data set, which are not common. Copiers, we gave a sales of 17,000 and we have a profit of 8,400, almost 50% profit we have. So what did we do so good that we got 50? But here, even though we made a sales of almost 23,000, we didn't get a profit. Okay, so that type of analysis can be done using scatter plot. So I'll be pasting this link in the description box. Maybe you can try to read this and get an understanding of which chart is better and all. Next is color is something that is very important. Okay, so like we should always try to leverage or use limited number of colors. Okay, so that is always being highlighted, because whenever you create a dashboard, color is the first thing that will get noticed or absorbed. Okay, so try to see that it is cool to your eyes, not like it should be very bright, or you are stressing your eyes to see that you shouldn't feel uncomfortable when you're seeing the dashboard. It should be pleasant to your eyes. So you have to think from that perspective also when a user is coming on to the dashboard. Example, we can see here this and this. Okay, on the right side, it is presented to your eyes. You are not stressing and to see this dashboard. Okay, it is elegant, it is effective, and it is still solving the problem. Whereas on the left side, it is like somewhat you are stressing your eyes, or it is having an impact on your eyes. You are seeing the dashboard. So we don't want our users to have that type of problem or trouble whenever they are visiting our dashboard. We want to make them feel good whenever they are visiting the dashboard. So for that, you can try to use very limited number of colors and very pleasant colors. Again, that comes out of practice. So try to make use of light colors, limited colors. That should automatically increase the your visibility of the dashboard and make it more interactive. Next is using the right layout, right font size. Often I've seen many times that many make mistakes in using the font size in creating the dashboard. Okay, so we should also always ensure that the right information is communicated in the right font size. So for titles, you can have a specific you know font size. For your tooltips, you can have a specific font size, and like that. So all of that you need to take care. See, that is something that I wanted to. So here, according to this is the top level font, highlight data, mid level font, low level font, like that. So there was an example here, maybe. Yeah, now see here, this is effective title sub example. So for a title, in the tooltip, he has highlighted in a different color, in a bold, and then maybe a little less color, and then you have a different font size. So in a single tooltip, we have three different options: different font color and size as well, and style as well. Three things. So that way you can make your dashboards effective. Okay, so remember this point: fonts are very important. Okay, so yeah, so let us write that down. Choosing the right chart and choosing the right color. Next, choosing the right font, style, color, and size. These are something that are important whenever you are trying to design your dashboard. So with that said, I'm ending today's session. I hope you have found this session interesting. If it does, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, and have a good day.